in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swain, Andrew Witt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Heyo, welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, T Swizzle. To my right or your left, Andrew Witt.
What up, y'all?
Hey, buddy. We are here again on my couch in the corner, I would like to call it. It's like a corner.
It's a cozy
couch
little corner.
in a
It's a
corner
nice
of
little
the
corner
house.
right here. You know, it's
the
nice.
corner.
You always do it really well. We come over here late night, and you always got a couple candles lit, really setting the mood. You know, it's a special environment.
I make some tea for you.
And the cozy corner.
Yeah.
The tea
I like
was
the cozy corner.
Yeah, the cozy corner.
Come in, cozy corner. I'll tell you what. I love a candle, buddy. I am obsessed. My wife gets obsessed because she knows I love candles. And
So it's just both of you guys just bouncing off one another.
awful.
Yeah.
Every time she sees a candle, it's like she knows it's an excuse to spend money.
Gimme.
Right. She knows it's like, oh, he's not going to say no to a candle.
Right.
So she's so hyped on it.
Oh, dude, so true. We're the same way. Love a candle lit. Probably one of the more underrated things that just kind of flies on the radar, but I think it's catching a little bit of wind these days. I mean, it's great. Whenever I'm chilling at the place, candle lit or a diffuser. Something like that.
Something that
like
smells good when I'm watching a sports documentary with like grown men hitting each other in the face. Just a cozy little candle just brings me through. Hey, bud. So how was your weekend here? You know, actually, you know what? F you. I'm going to start.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
I'm going to start because I'm jazzed up.
Okay. I know you mentioned that you wanted that you were heading over to a little slow weekend,
Right,
with the fam,
right. Which is,
and that's always nice when you get a little time away with the family. You know, get to hang out. So
yeah. Right
why don't we dive in a little bit?
Yeah, right before I started my new job, which was great.
Yeah, awesome.
A little 4-day weekend, a blast, dude.
Did you take off on Thursday?
We took off on Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
We came out Sunday. So Madison went to a JC out there, and so it's like where she kind of would attribute her best years of college. It'd be like if we went back to Long Beach.
Cool.
She loves Oregon, but
Yeah.
like it wasn't her favorite place in the whole world. She met her best friend there, which was awesome, but it wasn't her favorite
So that's
city.
cool. Have you been there in that city with her, like back in that college town with her before?
Yeah, like once or twice before. We went back for her 21st when she turned 21 with all her friends out there. And we also went out there when we first started dating. I went and helped her move.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's fun memories for both of us. It's such a weird and amazing city.
I've never been before, and I've heard great things. I know it's a little bit more relaxed, kind of like hanging back.
Yeah, I think you said it's kind of like Santa Barbara, and I said yeah, but with like way, way, way less money.
Yeah,
it's like
really
by
cool.
the ocean. But it's like there is a beach down there and there's multiple, but they go there, but it's like a trip. It's like 30 minutes or 35 minutes to get to it, which is, I know, ridiculous to say, but like when you're born and raised in Orange County, like 15 minutes in any direction, you can hit a beach.
You pretty much can. So like that's, I mean,
35 to 40 minutes.
I would
is
say
basically a trip.
anytime you're doing any sort of trip that is taking longer to get to than 30 to maybe 40 minutes,
Right.
that starts becoming, we're making this more of like an all-day
I'm not
thing.
going to the beach unless it's out my front door also.
And you're just happen to just like stumble upon it.
Yeah. Like, oh, look, a beach. I don't ever choose to go
You
to a
never
beach.
have been, never really will be, I don't think.
No, I just don't.
You don't really even like the food.
No.
You know, like you're just not really a fish person. You know, you just like hate like just the sun. Like in general, just like
I
hang,
generally
like,
just want to be a proper city English boy and just hang out.
Unless you're playing on the golf course, of
Right.
course. Yeah.
Well, that's totally English to me, right? I'll go do outdoor activities if I can play golf.
That is fair. That is fair.
So it was just really fun. It's a very, very much a college town. So amazing bars. There's like little coffee shops on the corner. Everything's really close together and drivable.
Does it feel more of like a mom and pop type city?
Yeah, for sure.
But also, is it like a college city?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Where you get like a little bit of both. You get like kind of mom and pop.
There's families there, but they've been there for a while.
Okay.
You don't know many people like born and raised in SLO. Like at least I don't. And it's just such a different vibe. And it's pretty much anything you possibly can want to do within like that driving distance too, which is weird.
That's cool. It sounds like a great spot for like a staycation, if you will, if you're like from our area.
Yeah, because you can go like wineries. You can go play some golf. There's some cool restaurants. I wouldn't say like the food out there is like super stellar. Maybe I just don't know of any places yet because every time I went out there, I'm like just drinking. Truly, I'm just going to the college bars out there.
That's fair. Well,
with the college bars out there, I don't know if there's a better bar town for college bars. They gotta be in Florida and Arizona.
I was gonna say we can go Midwest. Right. You can, but like, are you talking just like in our local area? Gotta be like in Cali,
not even close to like Long Beach is blowing out of the water. These bars,
I'm sure.
These like there's multiple of them. There's like 7 or 8 really great bars.
That's really cool. All in like the same kind of
like
area.
Dancing bars where they actually go and dance.
See, that's cool.
There's like like kind of divey, shitty bars. There's like a tiki bar.
And you can also do like how are the prices actually?
Not too bad.
Yeah. See, that's also a big thing as well.
Because like covers for the doors like $3 and like a cocktail's like 11.
See, that's huge. Anytime you're paying more than like 15 for a cocktail or it's getting to that range, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough to to shell out that much cash for a cocktail.
I feel like I can drink bar cocktails until like my dick falls off.
Yeah. Well, it's also because I think it's the atmosphere.
Right.
It's the energy is up. You're going. The cocktails are going back easy. It's a very social atmosphere. You're definitely not like a cocktail at home kind of person.
I am to like now if I'm pre-gaming cocktails at home.
Yeah.
Before I was pre-gaming, it was just how much of this plastic vodka do I have to drink until I can keep this buzz going so I don't have to try a drink the whole time I'm at the bars.
Yeah, that's a brutal thing to do.
Right, because by the time you get in this Uber, it's a game of am I going to throw up?
You try to ride that line as close as possible.
As close as possible. And you drown out your sorrows with the loudest music possible.
Yeah,
so
you're just acting a fool in the Uber
you're
too.
just hoping this Uber doesn't like smell
and also just kick you out, just like reject you, like
you smell like
buddies.
Plastic.
It's 10:42. What are we doing right now?
We're just stumbling. Uber's here. A bunch of zombies.
I didn't ask for this. This is the Uber driver.
Could you imagine just picking up a bunch of us running out of a house?
Awful.
Ruined my night.
We would terrorize those people. We terrorize those people.
Matt would like scream for an aux cord.
Right,
and like we would play the worst dubstep. Best dubstep you ever heard in your life in college.
Maybe it was hype. Maybe we made the dude's night. Highly doubtful.
I doubt it because I couldn't even like see straight.
And you're just stumbling out of there because you're just trying to buy maybe one beer to hold the entire night.
Right, and you're like, okay, I can buy like maybe a beer or 2, and that's like
so having that lower price is huge because then you can buy like 3, maybe 4.
Right.
And it's tough still with like it's $10 or $11, but if it's a $6 beer, that's way better than a $10 or $11 beer.
Yeah, we went to an awesome hike too. That was like Madison's favorite hike when it's like a Montano de Oro is what it's called.
Wow, look at us remembering a name. Look at you,
I
buddy.
think I butchered it. I'm just gonna throw out names.
I've never heard of it.
It's a hike on the Pacific,
so it's real. It's real to me.
Yeah, it's very traily. It's awesome. No hills, just flat. It's a flat hike on the ocean.
Love that.
Like,
is it really even considered a hike?
It is. I'm in nature, and there's no TV around for me to watch sports, so it's a hike. It's a hike.
A stroll?
A stroll.
A walk?
A
beach walk?
I would say it's a stroll.
This is an interesting thing we can argue on. What classifies it as a hike?
I think anytime I'm outside and I'm on anytime I'm on
an unpaved surface.
Right. It's a hike. It's a hike to get here. It's a hike to get out.
Boom. Debate settled. Done.
And then it was my father-in-law's alumni game. They didn't play. They just go and they get celebrated. Yeah. It was super cool to see him all his buddies start giving them little jabs. Just because, they're all it's like watching all your college friends come back and hang out. The jabs are flowing. Mm-hmm. He sandbagged not on purpose, but like they were going to give him 30-something strokes.
Wait, they play golf?
They played golf when they were out there.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's
so my
really cool.
father-in-law played golf with a bunch of his buddies.
Nice.
And
they gave him 30 strokes?
They were going to give him 30. But he's like, no. Hey, guys. Like, I know it's been a while since I played golf. I had a couple injuries. But, like, just give me 20.
And still just
I
poops.
started to laugh because I know what he's going to shoot. It's going to be mid-80s.
Right. The man doesn't miss.
He comes out 85. Hasn't picked the club up in a year. So he shot like a 68 against his buddy's net.
I love that.
I loved it. And
Yeah.
he was loving it too.
And he just pooped all over him.
I think he won. He dominated net and he lost one stroke. And they were only playing 50-cent bets.
Okay, it's no big deal. That's
so
why
he won like $5.
That's probably why he didn't worry too much about like the whole handicap.
I gave him a little hard time because I came up and asked him how the round went when I saw him at the baseball game with all his buddies.
Sure.
And I could tell he kind of wanted it like hush hush a bit because he didn't want to like
make it a big thing,
right?
Of course.
Until we got back to a campsite, we ended up going with them later, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was they tried to give me 30," and I started to laugh. And his wife didn't hear the story, like haven't heard that part of it yet, and she's like, "Honey, 30 strokes, like." This man used to go see Butch Harmon,
right?
Like every other weekend.
We were
does not.
We were touching on that last time, and yes, injuries, whatever.
Right, he could pick up a club.
It's like almost basically riding a bike
with one leg and one arm, and he can probably shoot mid-90s.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It's
the fact that they were even giving him 30 strokes, and he's gonna shoot a 115.
Right.
I mean, because I know your father-in-law.
Right.
I know what he shoots. Like I now know what he's capable of. I've seen the swing. It's rock solid.
It doesn't. It's
also hereditary as well because Madison's got it too.
Madison's got a swing on her. I don't want to teach her how to play golf super well because she'll just start pooping on me.
You could do a little co-ed tourneys.
I think so. If I actually got her to a place where she wanted to like chip and putt.
Totally. And if she would be wanting to do that competitively.
Right.
I feel like that's a big thing. But like,
she's got a swing on her for sure.
She does. She does.
But yeah, then we went to a campsite like an hour south of Slow that, let me tell you, it was like an RV park. They had like 2 pools. They had a restaurant that had like cocktails. They had ice cream, pizza, homemade pizza. Like,
what do they not have?
Like,
damn, dude.
Huge Airstreams. They had mini homes. They had like a wedding venue. It's like a huge RV park.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they had like tents. Like they already pitched. They call it the safari park area.
Got you. We did a similar thing when we went to Joshua Tree a few years back. Katie and I went to one of those campsites, but no RVs. They had like the 2 towers that we stayed in, but tents that were already like made and everything.
Right. So
super
it's
cool.
Like it was,
but it's sick that they're incorporating airliners and RVs.
Right. So the parent, like the in-laws, have a Airstream, so they parked it over there, and we
cool.
went and visited them.
I didn't know they had an airline. Or Airstream like that.
I wish they had an airline. My God, could you imagine? I wouldn't even be podcasting.
We'd be making clips over at Pinehurst. Probably.
Right. I'm just hopping on my in-laws' airline, Airstream, and we kind of were wiped because we were drinking 3 or 4 nights in a row at that
you're
point.
Out in the sun. You're hanging out during the day.
But it was so much fun. And let me tell you, if I was a kid and my family went there for 3 or 4 years, I would create a new life. I would have a gang of friends instantly.
Sure.
Instantly, I'm on the basketball
court. Because they have all the basketball hoops.
Right.
They got everything. Well, what else do they have there? Just basketball?
Like a kid pool, a basketball court.
Nice.
Like people are zipping around on bikes. Kids are zipping around on bikes. I would have had I would have fallen in love 3 times. I would have been ripping and roaring through that park.
Can we give a little shout out to this slow camping site right now? Because I feel like those areas are like that. That's like a dinosaur thing. It's extinct. It doesn't exist.
I thought so too, but it was slammed.
And you go there, and it's crazy. I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm now just putting myself in your shoes because seeing people playing pickup basketball and doing whatever hopscotch and playing like
life was happening.
And like bocce. Right.
It was crazy.
There's like people interacting. Bikes.
Kids are running around screaming, and there's friends, and there's family, and there's laughing, there's campfires, there's music.
Didn't know that existed.
It was like I walked into like what it felt like probably living in like a small community that actually cares who your neighbors are.
That's cool. That's cool.
It was like and it's super safe. At least from what I felt, it was super safe because they're all families for the most part. and everyone's watching everyone, so that people aren't like, kids aren't really unsupervised ever, like, and it was awesome. It was so funny. I just imagined myself being like 13 or 10 again, and just like running around with the kids, been like, wow, I would have been a different person out here. But
that's really cool, dude.
I didn't get to play any golf unlike you over here did, buddy. How was your weekend?
Yeah, dude, weekend was great. It was actually a very similar situation, like your father-in-law's. It was a little alumni night. It was they call it a little LB Legends. So shout out to the Long Beach volleyball program.
You didn't play, did you?
No. I was just a casual observer.
Okay.
Oh wait. I thought you were talking like, yes, I was over at Long Beach State, played there. I thought you were talking like,
No. I actually meant like, was there an alumni game?
No alumni game.
Okay.
My bad. That was my misunderstanding.
Right.
No alumni game. It was just alumni night, just honoring. Actually, I don't know how it was for your father-in-law. If there
Same
was.
thing.
Okay, gotcha. No, just a match. They were playing USC. Always great to see him take him down. And it's always great to see the boys. Just really fun. Again, like you were just touching on.
Who was there?
Like all the guys, I would say. The only guys that weren't that I'm like more close with, I would say, Nick Amato, like I feel like couldn't make it. Matt Butler, Zach. No, there's like plenty of others, but like those are the guys that were
Drew
just
made
like
it?
Close in my like circle, I guess, immediate circle right now.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take any offense, people, please. Sorry if you're listening. Love you all. Okay,
we're all friends.
Drew was there. Yes, I cruised over there with him. It was fun, dude. It's always cool. We went onto the court, got called out, got honored. We took a picture. It's just fun. It's just like a cool thing. It's such a big part of your life. And so to have some sort of alumni where like you go up, you get food, you get a beer, you get to hang out and catch up with the guys that you normally don't see all the time.
That's gotta be so
That
cool.
is in like your day-to-day life or like, or like even like monthly, you don't see these guys. So I always look forward to seeing these guys like once a year, seeing what they're doing, how they're doing, and what successes they're having, and kind of listening in on what they find interesting as well, what they're doing. So
right.
It's really fun. They do a really good job of it. They have the sandbar, which is fantastic. I know when when I was in college and playing, and you were coming to the games, they didn't sell alcohol there.
No.
Different scenario today.
Yeah.
So the sandbar now, you can buy drinks, you can hang out.
Right. I used to feel so cool going to your games when I was like, in
That's
college.
my buddy right there.
I'm like, all of my buddies are on that court. I'm just gonna sit here and by myself and wait for people to be done so I can hang out with my friends again. But I always enjoyed it because you guys were good too. So it wasn't like I was going to watch.
Was rocking.
It wasn't like I was going to watch a bunch of boys not do well, but it was always fun.
It's shout out that 27 year. That was 27. Jeez, 17 year. That was really cool. We put together some really good volleyball my senior year.
Really did.
Set a lot of like pretty cool records for most 3-set wins. Just most consecutive like home games won in a row. It's just like a really cool. It's really tough to play in the pyramid as well. So, anyways, just a special night.
Yeah.
Really fun seeing all the boys and catching up, and then grabbing a couple drinks afterwards as well. And then, actually, it took a little bit. I didn't really have like that much going on this weekend besides that, because Katie was doing her bachelorette party. So she's down in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Shout out, Katie.
She's living the life. Looked like she's actually going to be coming back tomorrow here.
Right.
So she's been gone for quite some time.
How bad a sunburn do you think she is on a scale of 1 to 10?
She's a little bit of a Red Lobster.
Right,
a little bit of a Larry the Lobster situation, I'm assuming.
I can only imagine how red I would be.
Cooked.
Yeah. She's going to come back.
Because that once the drinks flow.
Oh, you don't care.
Yeah, you don't give two shits about the sunscreen.
The pina coladas say, what sun?
Right.
They
You're like,
say, where?
I'm made for the sun.
Right. I am the sun. Enough sugar in those cocktails, you could do anything.
Right, exactly. Like, you're already feeling warm already from those things. Like, it's just the sugar rush.
We used to, when in St. Martin, there was a bar, like a swim up bar.
Yeah.
That you go down, they have happy hour.
Just a fantastic
and
thing.
You would get like,
God bless someone that's like, you know what? You know what's awesome? A pool. You know what's even better? And like, we could just take this up 10 notches.
Right,
Let's put a bar in the middle of that
it's
bitch.
It's a shitty swim up bar though, like real
Who cares?
trashy, but
Who
it's still
cares?
sick.
You don't have to get out of the pool. You're hanging out.
Right. So when happy hour hit, which I never was in the pool long enough for that, I would come down from the room to go hit the pool bar, and it was like buy one get one $8 pina coladas or something.
And you're like, oh, daddy's here.
Yeah, knock knock. Strawberry daiquiri, please. They were pretty good too. It was full of sugar.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so then I also know you played.
So she was, yes, I was playing a little golf, but she was out of town, so I didn't really have a lot of plans going on. And then out of nowhere, a buddy hits me up, Devin, and he's like, yo, we got a 4-man scramble.
Love.
Hop in here. Let's go. Let's run it. I'm like, okay, all right, what do we got? And he's like, one thing though, it's out in Corona. I'm like, oh boy. Tea time, 8 a.m. Oh man.
Oh man.
That's Saturday morning. But you know what though? Waking up on 4 hours of sleep like you did for your Vegas trip last weekend, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, because
It's
you're
really not
golf.
that big of a deal.
I don't know what it is.
Like, unless you are violently hungover and, like, you have a migraine, throwing up, okay, that's tough to rally. But I'm just talking about just, like, shaking off a little bit of no sleep.
Right.
And let's call it 6 to 8 drinks or something like that.
Yeah.
Not that bad. Like,
No.
that's the one thing I'm like, okay, I can definitely do this.
Then you get on the green, you see the guys, and you're like, okay, I thank God I woke
we're
up.
here and we're
Right.
fine. Like, we're playing golf.
You rally through
We're
it.
having fun. Yeah,
I'm sure
exactly.
the swing wasn't feeling crispy if you were
It
drinking.
wasn't, and it's also in Corona at 8 a.m., and so it gets a little nippy over there in the morning.
And we know how you play in the cold.
It's rough, dude. And like I again have my classic 4 layers on. I had my pants, right? Obviously, nothing underneath those. Like sometimes I do go compression like pants.
You go pants?
Yeah, like like the compression pants.
Yeah, but
then
those
you
are shorts.
But tights, like compression tights.
Oh my God! So you go pant.
Yeah,
You wear
I'll do
2
that.
pants and 2 shirts for 50-degree weather.
Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I
mean,
can't believe you didn't know that. Are you shocked?
This is ridiculous.
Are you
Pants-
shocked?
I thought pants.
It's
shirt,
not like I'm
shirt.
going like that's not like I'm doing sweats and pants. Like they're compression tights, like
Yeah.
all like the athletic ones.
Okay, but still.
And then
they're
I'm going pants over the top.
You might as well just throw on some like
Long johns.
and call it a day. I mean, my God, man. So cold.
then I, it's a little cold. It's like 45 or something like that. Like
Right.
it's kind of cold. Like dude,
right,
it's like
freezing.
okay. Well, I'm a little dehydrated. Blah blah
Hungover.
blah. Hungover.
What'd you
not
have for
feeling
breakfast?
that great. This is what was really funny. So like this is what I was going to tell you, but I held back is that Devin, a little bit of a listener to the podcast and
Shout out
was listening.
Devin. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Dev, dude. And thanks for the invite, bud. Listen to our prior episode about worst hated entree foods for breakfast items. And he made a joke, and he came out of the clubhouse. We're saying what's up, and he was like, "Dude, you're never gonna guess what's inside. They have complimentary coffee and donuts."
That's so funny.
Shout out to my number one most hated item for breakfast.
So bad. Dude.
And he, I mean, you're a big fan, but like when I'm coming there at 7:15 and hungover, again, for me personally, last thing I want is a donut.
I probably wouldn't grab it. I'd probably ask for a breakfast burrito. But,
but that's the only thing that was complimentary at the course.
Then I'm grabbing it.
Passed it. Passed right up on that.
Yeah, you're like, okay, let me go ahead and get an egg white omelet with spinach.
But you know what though? If I I would have passed on it even if I didn't eat anything. But I did have a little Spam fried rice with some shrimp and broccoli, and like
You had me on the Spam fried rice, and you said shrimp and broccoli.
it was for an entree for dinner.
Okay.
And it was just leftover.
Right.
So like the shrimp's not the go-to in the morning. But Spam fried rice I had like locked and loaded with some peas and some onions and some broccoli.
Pretty fire.
Oh,
I bet it hit.
it was, dude. It revived
Yeah,
me. That
I
and a
bet.
double espresso on the way over there.
Oh yeah. Now you're swinging.
Now we're cooking. So, but pass right up on that breakfast.
Right.
Because it was donuts. The
That's
worst.
so funny.
It's not even complimentary for me.
I hope one day we get sponsored by a donut brand. And I'm gonna make you redo the ad read. It's like the most delectable donuts. Everyone loves these donuts. I love donuts.
And then it's a little video take for me just taking a big old hunk
Right.
of a jelly-filled donut.
Not just I make you do chocolate on chocolate or something.
No.
Yeah.
No, please don't. But it was cool, dude.
How'd you guys
do? We did as a whole pretty good. I would say we came out of the gates pretty on fire. Like we were 4 under through 5.
Oh, you thinking you're gonna have your day here.
I'm thinking like, dude, we can like potentially win this. It's a very
Right.
small tournament. I don't know, the people that were there didn't look like it was just like more of like a fundraiser, like just for
Right.
fun. There was a lot of like younger players, whatever. They were all like all dressed up in sunglasses and just like they're there for a good time. Like, oh,
Totally.
we can string a few shots together here and a score. We
can
might have a
make
chance to
everyone
like get
go
some
home as L's. Take a win.
Yeah, we might like capture a little gift basket at the end. You never know what they're handing out.
Right.
But then we quickly cooled off
Oh no.
after, and we're just riding really hard on that par train, dude. 10 in a row, which is tough
For
for
a
a 4-man
four-man scramble, it's
yeah.
rough. That's rough.
The emotions were on cloud 9. Love a 4-man scramble. Haven't done it in a long time. A lot of fun. Did it with 2 guys I actually met like that day. Super cool guys. And the vibes were really high because it felt like we were just like paired up and we're on a team where they were invested, and it was exactly what you want.
Right.
Out of like 2 golfers that you don't know. If you're getting paired up with another 2, you're right, and you go with the buddy, you really hope that the other 2 guys are like there to like
Even
play.
if you're not swinging the club well, it doesn't matter. Just bring the vibe.
Bring the vibe. It's
Right.
a team event.
Right.
Bring the reads. Read some
Right.
putts. Throw out some high fives. God, I'm playing like dog shit. That was way to pick us up.
Right.
Something along those lines.
Then you're at least a part of the group. But if you're mopey,
I am like isolating you at that point.
right?
Like,
If you're
I want
mopey
nothing to do with you.
and you're not like a rah-rah team guy, I don't want to be in a scramble with you.
Yeah.
Because I need rah-rah team guys.
You need that in a scramble because golf, not easy. There's a lot of bad shots in golf.
Right. So
Especially
you're
it's a
gonna have
4-man
some-
scramble. You're going to have them all the time. You're not going to make, even if you think you're going to make the 15-footer and you got 4 looks at it, theoretically you should have a good chance of making it. But sometimes you just don't hit the 15-footer because it's just difficult.
Right. Who's putting last?
We were bouncing around quite a bit.
I think that's the issue.
We were bouncing around quite a bit. It was a little random. It was very relaxed. So we chose to go more of a relaxed route. We didn't really have. There was one guy that hit 4 off every tee because he just didn't have woods with him or didn't like him, didn't feel comfortable hit him. So he was just always the first one to go. We got the putting order a little bit later, but it just didn't help.
Who was once it had the putting order? Who was it?
I think I was either 3rd or 4th.
That's
like
where
after,
you should.
yeah.
Devin 4th.
Yeah. Sometimes you go 2nd. He's just a very fast player of golf. He doesn't do
Devin does not mess around. That man runs up and puts it down. And he
Shout out to
slaps
the guys on the golf course that don't take any practice swings and just get up there and yeet the ball down there.
Yeah, Devin's definitely.
It's crazy.
Gets
He just
the ball and yeets it.
He just like, oh, I'm up, puts the ball down, and just like doesn't even like really visualize what he's trying to do, and just gets up there and just does it. He's just
Right.
really good at just kind of feeling out. He's also like, I feel like he's pretty experienced in this kind of stuff. But also, he was mentioning that he was also doing some testing for Fujikura, doing some shaft testing.
Yeah,
which is really dope.
really cool. You think he has a buddy who works there?
Oh, unreal. I mean,
I would talk about a dream sponsor.
talk about a couple of boys. If you're looking for some willing, able, and a decent array of shot selection.
Right. Some high erratic swing speeds.
Exactly.
Right.
And seeing how you're testing for stability wise, I'm your guy. Testing for guys that are a little bit struggle with maybe a high right shot, which is a very common shot shape for the common golfer.
Yeah, be me. Be your boy.
That would be our guy T Swizzle over here.
Yeah,
so
T Swizzle.
I don't know if it ever is going to make it out over there, but you
we'll
you never know. You never know.
Fujikura, shaft for me.
So it was really cool. I would love to dabble in something like that. It sounded like it was a really
have the swing a bit.
Oh, and then me personally, I was
Yeah.
playing. I thought I played really well, and it was fantastic to see. I've been shooting, and just like mid 90s, high 80s a lot.
Which
a lot.
is not...
Sorry, not mid 90s, just high 80s a lot.
Not like you anymore.
And, I feel like if I'm ever shooting above 85, I can really feel it. And that's not really like a...
Which is a great place to be.
Yeah, it's nice. And it's
So
certainly
I
a
start shooting
step
90,
up.
I can feel it now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
which is
ooh,
cool.
Like I should be playing better than that.
I think that's the best sign to like gauge how you're doing or like your feel for your game and like you're getting better. It's like, you're every single time, now I'm breaking 100. If I'm over 100, bad day.
Real bad day.
Right. I'm just saying, like a few years back, like those are kind of like the pecking order. Kind of.
Like, I'm always breaking 100, and then when you do 100, you're like,
okay, cool. That's a bad day.
I'm always breaking 90. When you don't, you go,
you're like 92. Like, ooh, I felt that.
Right. And then you get scared when you start breaking 85 often. You're like, well, now I'm playing golf.
Some would say maybe a little bit.
I would say if you shoot below 85, you're probably playing pretty well.
Yeah, I would consider even. I would say if you're under 100, like legitimately, I think you're a good golfer.
Yeah, I would any level I would love to play with. I don't really care, but breaking 100, at least they start getting the flow of the game a bit better.
Yeah, totally. So obviously I don't know what I shot, but as a whole, like the driver took a little while for me to warm up. But, I really want to touch on this a little bit because I felt like I hit so many flush golf shots off the driver, off all my irons, even my 4-iron. We had a shot that was...
Your 4-iron's impossible to hit for you.
220 into the wind, and I put it on the back, just past the green. Flushed it, dude. Like a 235 4-iron.
Was everyone losing it?
I mean, it was like a... most ridiculous green you ever did see. 3 tiers, and it's on the top corner, and I missed the pin 20 feet right, but just passed off the back. It's like,
Whoa.
dude, that was a great shot. Just a low draw. No, it was par 3 actually. It was a brutal par 3.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was tough, and so it was like a challenge hole where you could do a raffle or whatever. If you hit the green, then you win. Because it's a
monster.
Feat. It's a feat to hit it from there. I feel like you hit the green. I mean, I missed the green, but it was still a really good shot. Mm-hmm. You're hitting the green 30% of the time.
If you're lucky.
Right? Yeah. I mean, the green is long, but it's kind of narrow-ish.
220
but you're still
the wind's 2.
That's to the pin. So if you wanted to aim towards the middle, you'd play a 210 shot probably, or a 220 shot.
Yeah, still I would say that's 30% of the time.
Yeah,
that's still rough.
30% of the time for the green. So, anyways, I was hitting the ball really well, wedges, good distance. I hit a lot of greens and reg. I felt like I had a lot of control of the start line. And I felt like I was rotating through the ball really well and getting a lot of balled and turf, and even balled and turf with my 6-iron, balled and turf with 4 and 5-iron a little bit, getting it down there, and even hybrid, dude. Not just picking it clean, getting ball, scraping, brushing turf after. I'm dude, I'm flushing some golf balls right now.
I can't wait to watch this.
It is great.
It up right before the bachelor party, aren't
it's
you?
Great, and I needed that in the worst way because my game was so erratic, and I was going through a little bit of swing change, and I want to kind of touch on this a little bit because I showed you a video.
Right. Shout
out Mount Crossfield. He's my guy that I always watch on YouTube. If you guys want to watch and get a little bit more in depth and just kind of... I will have to warn people.
He's very, very technical.
Very technical. So I will have to warn people. You got to watch. You can't just give up on it. So if you're committed to it, and you want to watch a guy that breaks down and thinks about the swing a little differently, and he's got the pressure plates, and he's got the capture of he does more of the physiology and movements and weight pressures and how turnings and how you're...
If you want to be mathematical about golf and you're into that type of stuff...
Yeah, that's your guy.
That's your guy.
That's your guy, for sure.
If you want some feel, you got to go somewhere else.
And also analyzing and breakdown a lot. He does a couple of breakdowns. And
he's really, really fun. I really enjoy him.
But sometimes it doesn't resonate for a lot of people. But if that's you... Great, because I watch a lot of his videos, but sometimes it's very tough to kind of calculate and figure out how to do it yourself. And it wasn't until actually he did the John Rahm swing breakdown visualization where he was dissecting his swing and he did it right after a pressure plates video where he was talking about, like strike, how to clean it up, how to push through the ground, where to like transfer your weight horizontally, vertically in different parts of the swing, and then visually seeing that in John. Basically, in a nutshell.
Some real nerd shit.
I'm going a little bit too deep for not. That's my bad. I'm going a little bit too deep here, but I guess it just
not too deep. I think it's great because I think people really resonate with that. Like if you're like, there's people like obviously he has an audience. There's people out there who really enjoy that stuff. Sometimes it gets so crazy for me.
You got to find you got to find the nuggets that are in there,
right? And the shoulder to shoulder swing video was awesome. I haven't. That's tried pretty cool. Yet.
It's a good feel. Anyways, it's good stuff. But in a nutshell, what made it click for me, which is why I thought I was hitting a lot of golf balls really well, was how quickly the pros get their weight off the right foot, if this is for right-handed players, off the right foot back to the target onto their left before they even finish the backswing, and getting the stretch, and then so they can clear the hip and rotate, and you're getting ball and turf. And then getting your right shoulder, just chuck that thing down at the ball.
Right.
Like Mito Pereira, that thing. Like that's what it should feel like.
Right.
It's not going to look like that because you're probably not, to the everyday amateur golfer, you're probably getting just a skosh, a side bend. And that just cleans up a lot of the strikes, even with the driver. It was pretty cool. So that was fun. I think that was the big click, and that was the fun part of the weekend. Shout out the boys that we were playing with because it wasn't the prettiest golf, but it's still really fun to get back in that 4-man scramble back in the saddle.
A little bit more competition. I love it,
and it's also really nice to hit some good golf shots. It was a bummer because we had a lot of putts from 18 feet that just weren't going in. What are you gonna do?
Happens. Yeah, they don't drop.
So, yeah, dude, that was a fun little Saturday round, and of course, I was just gassed afterwards. So then I just kicked it. And that was kind of like my day, and then just like watched the little Clippers game.
They suck.
Can't say I love what's going on over there. And sorry,
they suck. I can't wait for them to get their own stadium.
Sorry, Clippers fans.
I am not sorry at all, Clippers fans. Get your own stadium. Right? You're working on it. You're working on your own stadium.
How about the Lakers get our own stadium and we just go move away from crypto.com and we just go get a brand new big dog stadium.
Keep crypto.
Yeah.
No. Crypto's ours. That's our stadium.
So yeah, dude, that was kind of that was it.
Yeah,
that was kind of the weekend. I was
we
just
had some
chilling on
crazy days today, Monday following.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's
big
what
weekends.
That's what I wanted to touch on because you actually finished up your job. It was kind of a fun weekend for you.
Yeah,
finishing the last job, little celebration.
Yeah,
starting this job, dude.
So a little public information now we can kind of share. I put my 2 weeks in at my old company, First American Title, where I've been working for 6 years. I love the people there. The people within First American are great. That company, in all sense of the word, not a fan. I could have been worse and I could be meaner, but it really did give me an opportunity as a young man to like work and go to college and the possibility of making lots and lots of money at a very young age. It just never hit the right stride for me at any point in my career. And it was a little bit soul-sucking for me.
Sometimes a lot of jobs are kind of like that, truthfully, right? Like it's kind of one of those things where...
We're going to dive a bit more into that. But I started my new job. I'm not going to give up the name or the people, but I'll give you a brief. It was awesome. It's a sales job. It's a classic
which is super cool, dude.
I
could not be any more fired up that you're doing that because this is something that you wanted to do for a while now. Because the job that you had at First American, which again, it's not for you. It's like not for you.
Not my type of job,
right? Because
it sucked.
Because you're not getting in front of people, which is who you are.
Right. I sat behind a desk and pushed paper. I can hardly speak English, and they wanted me to write and push paper.
It's tough.
Time,
so that's not you. So anyway, so now this sales job is right up your alley,
right? And
it sounds like it's a really good thing. And I'm fired up for you.
It's IT consulting. So I'll be doing meeting up with managers of companies and see their IT needs. Essentially, it's a classic sales job. Lots of calling, lots of looking up people, lots of contacts. It's back in Laguna Hills, which is crazy. Right back at the hometown.
Go Hawks, baby. Go Hawks.
Soar above the rest, baby. And yeah, man, it was just really fun to kind of break away from this job.
It's a little bit. It's a little mundane. It's a little mundane.
Right. Like, I'm supposed to get up and shake hands and meet people. And it's so funny because there's other people in this world who are like, dude, I would never want to do that. But I would much rather get up from behind my desk and meet people than write 500 emails and track every single one of what I was doing.
And push papers. And
push papers. I would rather, like, be on the risk of losing my job because I'm not closing enough than, like, the risk of losing my job because I'm not processing fast enough.
Sure.
That's where I'd rather bet on myself and make more money that way too.
Sure.
It's
very valid. It's very valid. It's a little riskier, but it puts you in a place that you want to be successful or, learn and grow to be successful.
Yeah, man. It was pretty great. And I know, like, there's a lot of uncertainty with new jobs and stuff like that, but like just getting in there and doing First American for so long, it being in that Fortune 100 company and the way it's built, like going to a corporation that maybe doesn't as like prestigious, quote unquote, like isn't a Fortune 100 company yet. I bring like an instant amount of like corporate knowledge to something, which is like I found so useful today. Like I was able to like navigate through the ease of starting. I was able to navigate like HR and like tech solutions and setting of my monitors. And like I was like instantly in there rolling where there were some other people who had like a bit of a struggle because maybe like their desk wasn't set up yet or they couldn't log in or yada, 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 where I felt like I was able to like sit down and immediately kind of like get comfortable.
It's like you're kind of speaking a language and you've already been speaking it, so you just kind of do your thing and you
so
just can set everything up.
That was pretty nice. So I was all like nervous, like, no, I'm not going to know what to do. And I sat down and it was just like, I'm riding a bike.
Right.
But cool. Yeah, man, I know you played more golf today, though.
Yeah.
More golf today, my man.
I did.
Love
and it's fantastic.
That.
I literally went from no plans, and then I was working this, quote unquote, the golf tournament. But I was working a spot, needed to fill it in. Needed
you're
a spot.
Working a charity tournament.
Yeah, and it was really cool. Shout out Fresh Start. It is my Aunt Sherry's. It's a non-profit organization. It's just really cool. It's just really. I just love.
What's the nonprofit do?
Love what they stand for. Basically, it's nonprofit like surgical repairs, and it is surgical repairs for younger kids that don't have the
means.
Yeah, exactly. Don't have the means to get those surgeries, and hence the term Fresh Start.
What type of surgeries
they give to their lives, and they'll do. This is where I'm not as.
I think it's cleft
lips. And I don't. Again, is medical. I think it's medical. So I think it's like hearing.
Right.
Any like skin issues.
Right. It's a super cool charity.
Really awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Sherry.
And, Sherry and Bob invited me on down there.
Oh, yeah. Big Bob.
Really cool. I mean, it's just an awesome event. Played over at Morgan Run, which was their club, which is like their country club. Mm-hmm. Always fantastic to go back down there. If you guys were listening to that first initial episode, that's where I grew up playing. That's really where like I truly fell in love with the game. So it's just always special to go back to that place. How cool to see it like grow over the years. They redid like the restaurant, but for the most part, the bare bones, everything is exactly the same, which is exactly what you want to see.
So cool.
It's just like a really cool place that just stands the test of time. The course was actually playing really well, and I was shocked because of how much rain they've been getting.
Right.
The range was completely closed though because it was underwater, not like it was flooded. It was like legitimately like underwater. It was crazy. However, the course was in phenomenal condition, hardly soupy at all. The greens were firm and they were pretty fast. Like it was like you better be throwing like a pitching wedge in there or you're not sticking it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
was
pretty
firm.
impressive for San Diego. too, because it usually plays soupy down there.
Yeah, because you don't get the same amount of sun, so the drainage was great. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that like greens are slightly elevated, so there's like runoffs.
Turtleback.
Exactly. They don't have a lot of those, but they're just slightly elevated, or there's like some drop-offs in some areas. They're not just. It's not just a straight elevation. There's a couple of those. But what a cool event, dude. Ate some bomb food, met some great people. It's just a really fun environment.
What was one of the celebrities you met there?
Shout out Alfonso.
From Fresh Prince.
Yeah, you know Fresh Prince, man.
Does the Carlton dance.
Dude, just the man is all time.
Was he cool?
What a cool guy. I've actually I've had like dinner with him, like Thanksgiving dinner with him once.
That's so funny.
And then
He's not married or anything?
That I don't know. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm not sure. Maybe they're out of town. I'm not sure. Again, wait. Yeah, he's married. I think he also has. Again, dude, this is
who cares?
You're trying to fact check me here, but
move on. He was cool.
What a great guy. Because you can meet these celebrities, and you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
They're there to play golf and hang with their buddies, and they only said yes because, they wanted to golf with their buddies, and this is a cool event, and they can afford it. So this was like a fundraiser event, charity event. And so he did an unbelievable job, like going around talking to all the groups, making sure everyone felt super welcomed, and he's hosting the whole speech and event and the dinner, and he's putting that on with Sherry, and
cool.
just stepping up and just doing something that he believes in, and that's really cool. And so that's fantastic to see. So just shout out that event and shout out the nonprofit, because it's just a really cool meaningful thing. And dude, again, played really well.
Oh,
played really well,
back to
dude.
back. I hope he starts slowing down for the
played really well,
event.
dude. I think it's just that little swing tip. So just I think you can learn those nuggets on YouTube.
And it's warm.
Yeah, and it was warm today, and I'm like, that just frees me up.
Frees the back up a bit.
It really does. Even it was a little stiff. It's still just warm, and it's fun. It was cool. They had a bunch of really good food, drinks every like 3 holes. And I played really well. It had a great group.
Drinks every 3 holes.
It's just beers. There's like beers just like floating around. Like I'm talking like wood-fired pizzas out of like a fire engine. Like fish tacos. Like Crack Shack was there.
Whoa.
Did you
have yourself a day?
Oh, I had myself a day. There's whiskey tastings. There's tequila tastings. There's like a 400 and like 20-yard, 30-yard par 4. And we don't even have to hit our drives because they've got a cannon there to shoot our golf ball onto the green for us, which was I've never seen before, which was awesome because
a cannon shot a golf ball onto the green for you guys.
And the dude's there, and he's like lining us all up, and like he's getting rowdy with us, and we're sending this golf ball into space. It is ridiculous. The thing's like knuckling all over the place. It's going nuts.
And then you'll calculate to land on the green though.
He's like sets it to a certain PSI. It's like a potato launcher, and he just launches this thing out there. And then he's even got a spotter. They got walkie-talkies because it's far, dude. It's like 440. And you just can't see. I don't know the exact, but it's far, dude. You can't see. And then that's our drive. Because thank goodness, because we were teeing off from the back tees. And they had it set up, and it was playing like 20 miles an hour into the wind. I'm like, we're looking at like a 520-yard hole here. This is going to be just devastating for us.
You got to tune that back up. Who are you playing with on your team?
Really cool. Play with Michael Allen.
Who's that?
Oh boy,
no.
Marcus Allen.
Marcus Allen
from the Raiders.
Yes,
all-time running back. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot myself in the foot if I just don't. If I'm not right there.
Okay.
But it was his brother, so Michael Allen, that I played with.
Oh, so his brother was
playing with us. And then it was Sherry, and then it was 2 of her friends.
2 of her friends.
Mm-hmm. two of her
So
friends
you
that
had-
were ladies. We had 3 gals
Didn't have much of a group.
and 2 of us. And also, I mean, shout out Sherry. She hit the ball great today.
I bet you Sherry was a baller.
She doesn't even have. I mean, she's dealing with a little bit of like a little bit of like an eye situation going on. So like, I thought she hit the ball great today for
That's
what she was going through and adversity and stuff. Great to see her out there. Always fun to run it back with her. But yeah, I would say it was an overall successful day given the play that we had. We were certainly out there for more fun. Let's call it. It was more fun than anything because the winning score was like 18 under, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I guess if you have 5 really good players that are like inside of a 10 handicap and you get 5 guys,
Right.
you know, you're thinking that you could probably like eagle twice as well.
Hopefully.
There's a couple mulligans.
How was the potato gun? Where'd you guys get it landed on?
It was really cool. We were like 30 or 40 feet right of the pin. It was our like best one.
Okay.
And we're like going in and like we're also like shooting it. He's not like doing it for us. He's like lining us up. It was really fun.
Oh man,
Yeah.
How was yours? Where'd yours land?
Oh, dude, honestly, terrible. They like knuckled way left and knuckled way right. It's just chance, you know.
That's unfortunate.
It's okay, but it's just a fun concept. And then we just tapped in for birdie. Essentially, we just like I barely missed the eagle putt by like an inch, dude. It was so devastating.
Oh.
But yeah, just tap it in for bird. It's always fun. So yeah, we finished at 7 under. We could have been 8. We bogeyed the last. I don't know what happened. We just did not string a couple good shots together. It was rough. But yeah, finished 7 under. A lot of fun.
Awesome.
Really cool event, and it was really, really fun. So
Good networking stuff out there.
really good networking stuff, and that was the whole thing as well. Thanks for reminding me, because I actually went down there on Sunday night, so yesterday, and did the whole networking, grabbing drinks. You know, they invited me down there real quick. It was awesome because I got to spend the night, wake up, just go play golf. Already down in the area, but yeah, the drinks were. I always look forward to something like that too.
Right.
It's something, especially an event that carries a little bit more of a, I would say, like of a, more head honcho type people.
Yeah,
You're you're leaning more like this guy,
Golf charity events bring out some big wigs.
There we go. That's a good way of putting it, dude.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, because there's a few heavy hitters there, and it's also a donation event and
Right. So there's money
fundraiser.
flying around. You're hoping to meet somebody big who maybe might be able to help you out. Right.
And also, my aunt is running the thing.
Right. So that's like a great end.
And it's like, oh, come talk to so and so. Oh, hey, my nephew's
Right.
here. Blah blah blah. And it was awesome. I got to hang out and meet some of these really cool people. But I figure I just really struggle with this though too, because I feel like, and again, I feel like I just want to be a little bit more vulnerable in this situation, because I struggle with it, because I feel like I do really well and people tell me that they really like me, but I don't know if that actually means anything because I don't see anything from it. And
Yeah.
that's something I really struggle with. And it's like, are they
It's
just saying that
really-
because they want to
right.
be nice? Am I blowing it and I'm not asking the right questions? And they don't think that I'm interested, or they think that I might not be a perfect fit in their eyes? So it's tough, because it's one of those things that you never get feedback on, because it's just a very casual encounter.
Yeah. It makes you question, is it me? It's like talking to a pretty girl at a bar, and she's showing interest, but at the end of the night they just walk away, and you're like,
That is
what
exactly
could I have done differently to make this person take me home?
Sure.
Right? Do I have to be 6'8"? Do I have to have a 6-pack? You gotta think.
Did I just bring up all of the wrong topics?
Right,
Was
did
she
I
just
talk about
not
my ex too
was,
much?
was she just not interested, or was they not interested in what I was having to say because I was just choosing to talk about the things that I liked, and they wouldn't have anything in common? Was I too dull? Whatever. I mean,
Right.
there's just so many options, and you just don't know. And at the same time, I feel like at this point, it would be fun to get some return off of that,
Was
or even
Sherry next to you?
no,
No, all the time.
no, I would say never, because she's doing her own thing. And like I was talking to my cousin a little bit, but I was talking to just a few people here and there. This is more about just, you're meeting people all the time and interacting, and I guess it's more of just a heightened situation.
Right.
It kind of maybe spurred this thought process a little bit, but at some point I really do think it just boils down to just like me, and it just feels like I maybe don't have like that get or that grab. Like I'm just like nice and just like that,
I get what you're saying. I don't think it's you. I think it's a bad portrayal of what people think business is. I think we've been told like, well, it's like a fairy tale for a woman that like a man's going to whisk them away into like happiness. I think maybe people like me who love business and are in business dream of this like scenario where I'm going to go to like some drinks,
of course,
and the CFO is going to talk to me and give a shit enough. You're like, duh, this is my guy. I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens to people, but that's like a shooting star, I'm assuming.
Yeah, you're walking into the next big movie star. Like that's kind of like in their eyes. You're like, how many of those are in the world?
Right.
Okay,
you walk in and there's a CFO who's like super interested in you of a huge company. He wants you to be like, he wants to be a part of the company. He's fast tracking you like that. That stuff rarely happens. And I think we get in this place where we think, okay, well, I'm doing enough of these events now, and no return has happened from it. And you start to blame yourself, where like I think you gotta think it's all reps.
For sure. That's a great way of putting it.
It's all reps because maybe these aren't things that matter. Like not matter. Maybe this isn't the event that works out, but you gain these reps in for something that might become that works out in that way.
Yeah. I like the way you're thinking of that. Because, again, I heard the same comment that you hear all the time. And it's like, you're young. Don't worry about it. This and that, and I'm just like...
That's not the advice you want to hear,
and it's like, yeah, it's like, yes, like, okay, like, I am young, but, like at some point, I'm not going to be young anymore. And it's like, is that just because I'm just going to fall onto this job? Like, because I'm 37 now, I just get the job? I should just get the job because I'm qualified. So that to me also doesn't make sense. So like that's another, I get it. Reps is a great way of putting it because we are on the younger side. And I think that's why you getting a job in a sales position is so big, because that's reps, and then that's the title, and that is the account manager position as well.
Right.
And that just looks really good on the resume. And then that brings a little bit more to the table and gives you a better starting point while you're getting more reps in that field.
I think...
So I understand the youth. I understand that.
But at the same time, I don't. Because, like, you know what? You don't want your company full of dinosaurs. Why not give a person a shot who's out of college and who's begging to be filtered and begging to work to make money? And these companies, I feel
and I'm
like,
telling you what, you don't need to make a ton of money. It's more about just getting your foot in the door.
You know how happy you'd be if someone just threw you a bone and started you off at like 90 or 80?
That would be...
You know how much harder a 20-something-year-old would work if you're like, you know what, we're going to invest in you. We're going to start you off at 80. You're not going to get a raise for a year. We're going to keep you at 80.
And then we can see if you do X, Y, and Z in this position and you succeed, then we will compensate, progress.
Bonus, whatever.
In a situation that will benefit both of us. And that would be like all time. All time.
Like you would never find that. They always start you at the lowest dollar amount possible.
And then they just feed you the wolves and hope you just are becoming a star.
Right. It's like they're trying to do 300. Like you're born with a defect, they just throw you over the cliff. It's rough, and it's only getting rougher, I feel like, in many areas, but not in some areas, which is weird, right? Like tech right now is huge, so I kind of wanted to move into it.
Sure.
Just because I wanted to be in an industry that's not going to be famished by recent dates where I feel like First American Tile, all their back end work is going to be like outsourced at some point. Maybe IT is the same way, but sales is hard to outsource. Something else I wanted to kind of talk about, since we're on this topic as well, is just like maybe some advice and the pitfalls to avoid for people maybe who are struggling with stuff like this that we've been doing. I worked a job, like I said, for 6 years that I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed the benefits of what came with it. I met some great friends. I had some parties with buddies. I made like multiple lifelong friends. It's gotten me, some career awesome things that happened. But like from the moment I started, I don't know if I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Ever for a moment.
You were only finding the positives in a silver lining situation because that's just what you wanted to see. That's what you hold on to. That's what keeps you like, oh, but I have this in this position. Right. It's not total fulfillment.
And I think I was so young and didn't understand how corps work. But what they do great in these Fortune 100 companies, they offer you a nugget. And it's just enough to feed you, but never, ever feel full or like that was enough. You're always like grasping for more. And I think if you're a young man and the company is promising you something and they're only giving you bits and pieces of it, and it's not in an industry you don't really want to be in, it's time to move. Because they're really, truly just kind of stringing you along where they're not really investing in you and they're not really giving you what you want, but they don't want to lose you. So what they're doing is they're like, you want a $20,000 raise.
It's essentially, it's easier to keep you than it is to train someone else.
Right. They're like, oh, we're not giving raises this year, of course. Again, we're not getting raises, but we'll give you more vacation time and $5,000. And you're like, okay, I guess it was more than whatever. Like, you need to find a new job. Because if they're not willing to grow, unless there's like, you have to be in a very specific situation. Of course, I'm just talking for myself. Like, I wasn't in golf. If I was in the golfing industry, I probably would have been part of that still because it's something I'm passionate about. I also think, like me and you have talked about, that if you're young and you don't want to go to college, just get an internship somewhere.
Sure.
Everywhere it's going to give you an internship, like, for free, and that doesn't matter. You're 18, 19, 20. Like, just see if you have an internship and talk to your parents and see if you can just do that for free and live at home. Some people don't have the luxury of that, but you can say that's my college education. Because right now in these industries, it's
a lot more specialized.
Right. And people aren't, like, let's say I'm a college student in marketing. I have never worked in marketing, but I have a marketing degree from Long Beach. Back in the day, that marketing degree meant more to someone who's been working in marketing for 3 years. Nowadays, I bet you that if you got handed 2 applications...
It would be really interesting to see what people would pick.
If you got handed 2 applications, and one was just a marketing degree from Long Beach, and the other one has 4+ years of marketing experience, and they're the same age, they're the same person. Just one's worked in marketing and one's got a college degree.
My take?
Yeah.
I'm taking the experience.
I'm taking the experience.
Because it's applicable. It's like doing and then they know how to make it successful already.
Right. I think
you don't have to go through the trial and error situation anymore. That's just me as if I were to hire.
Right. I don't think a college education anymore for like degrees of business administration, which I have, hotel management, like, whatever that you don't need like education for. Doctor, go to school. Like engineer, go to school. Like all that stuff. I get that you have to have an education for, but if you're doing communications, like, let's just move on.
It's just a good way of fast tracking your career and getting those reps, getting through that, and breaking through a little bit earlier potentially.
I just rather have someone have work experience. I think that would be something I would have give advice to my young son would be just go intern, dude.
It's also, I think it's a really good way to find what you like and find what you're good at quicker and faster.
Right.
Because
not good at in the idea of like, oh, I love real estate. No. Like, I'm really good at talking to people.
Yeah.
I'm really good at organization. I'm not so great at email writing. I'm not so great at this. And you try to like find a job where they have enough good for you that maybe lines up with an industry that works out.
That's exactly it. Because I feel like whenever I was asked, well, what industry or what do you want to do? What actually more specifically, what job do you see yourself doing?
Right.
That's more like, what do you see your career path? And it's like, well,
who knows?
I don't know. Like,
Right.
I have no.
I still have no clue.
There's so many career paths out there. You have no idea unless, again, you are going to school for a doctor, engineer, biologist, whatever it is, and you need to go to school for that.
Right.
I'm talking just everyday, just, your non-specific school situations.
I know a guy who sells rubber and makes a killing.
It's
like,
crazy.
You don't really know. Like, but so it says, go do something you love. And you're like, well, I love golf. How do I do something like that? Maybe they're talking about go do something that you love to do, like talking. I love talking to people. I love making people smile. I love the feeling I get when I serve somebody a dish. And maybe not so much, well, I love video games. I have to do something in video games.
Okay, well, maybe it's the team aspect you're after. Maybe it's the competitive
Maybe
aspect
you need to be
you're
you want to be a team manager. Maybe it's it's sports and you have to be in sports because it's just what you breathe.
Or you want to be a manager or management, or you like being whatever, or you like being stable and having work from home.
Right.
It's just
you
like,
love it. You my favorite I thrive in is like working from home, right? Like maybe someone says that, then you need to find a job that is never moving and you were 100% working from home full time and just try it out for a year. And you're like, you know what? I don't like it. I liked aspects of working from home. That's what I think we're trying to say is that like, and it's not like a new, it's
not a revelation that we're talking about here, but it's something that we always struggled with, like trying to find like what would be something that we could go do or be successful at. And it's like just getting a situation or position in any of those like strengths or fields and maybe moving in that direction and progressing.
And you said, you're a bit in the cabbage with the feeling like it's you. And I would say it's definitely not you, buddy. You know how great you are as a person. I think they're trying to tell you just to be patient, and that's all you hear. And it gets really fucking boring when people keep telling you to be patient when you don't have the funds to be patient anymore. Like
I want to get things going.
Like life needs to progress, and without that dollar bill, it gets a lot harder. Especially in California. Like I can be patient in Tallahassee. Like I can't be patient.
It's just a very fair point.
Like where am I like patient for what? For like taxes just to get higher? Like I'm playing against the clock here.
It's inflation. It's rates for homes. It's and then whatever you get older, then there's other things that are going on with Kate and I would maybe want a dog or a pet. It's like ooh, or just like a car. Your car breaks down. It's like ooh, that's tough. That sets us way back. Like
way back.
Like
people get so fat like off money over here when they do reach that maybe they don't forget, but they forget that hurt of like, man, do I have to go fix my car or can I just like keep driving it for like 3 or 4 more months and maybe like this money magically just appears in my pocket.
So, I mean, obviously this is something where we're talking for people that are hopefully gaining and like
early 30s, looking for a new career,
and looking to progress, and
progression will come. Just
hungry
keep
for more. Yeah, it was just a thought that just popped into my head. Just
be patient, huh?
Yeah, dude. I feel, and it's funny too because you were saying that a bunch because you were working the first American job, and I first remember you hearing that, or I first remember hearing that from you, and I'm like, dude, you're 26. Like, you got to relax, dude. But that was because it was after 2 to 3 years of you grinding, and that's all you do, and you're putting in 100-hour work periods. Mm-hmm. And I guess maybe that patience, it runs a little thin, just like anything else. If you're doing it for a while, I can see why that's fast-tracked. And I felt like I finally had that 2 to 3 year cycle that I've been going through. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, now I'm going to be 30 next year. Yeah, I know, but I've been doing this for a couple years, and I feel like I have a lot of skills and a lot to offer people, but it's not clicking just yet. So I heard the patient and you're young, and I kind of thought of when you used to talk about that and when we used to talk about that before.
Yeah, because it's so funny because I hit, even though we're not that far apart in age by any means, but it seems like in my friend group that I'm currently in, I'm always hitting a different stage of life before everybody else. And then I feel like people are like, wow, you're crazy. Like my family, even like my younger brother or my, Mikey's my younger cousin, which is funny to say, but he is. They've experienced so much life, and I feel like sometimes that they don't know exactly what I'm going through because I'm older or I've hit a different level of experience where sometimes where I talk about stuff like I was saying, like patience, like that's so annoying, and you're like, yo, you're only 26, 25 or whatever, and I was at it for
it's like, yeah, but I've been working an internship job, I'm working this job for 4 years now.
Right, and I feel like millennials are like, oh, it's time, and people are like, be patient. It's like, no, I'm like 4 years of working for somebody, there should be some returns. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like there should be something that I should be able to stamp on, and so that's why I'm saying, like, don't fall for the crumbs anymore. Like stand up. Like you did a great job with First American leaving. Within a year, you saw where that thing was going. You said no, thank you. And
it was brutal,
right?
Because I felt like I was able to offer much more, and I was willing to offer more, and like take another position, take on more responsibility, and they didn't see that in me. So maybe they didn't see that in me right away at that moment, but I didn't feel that. Right. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that right then and there. And again, I happened to be offered, a job interview and blah, blah, blah. And it just worked out that way. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to try my luck over here instead.
Which has been working out great so far.
So, anyways, dude, I hope I like that talk. It helped me out too, because it's just, I thought it was kind of comical and funny because I had that situation where we talked about it like 3-4 years ago, and I gave you the same advice, and I said, dude, you're 25, 26, like chill. And I didn't understand why you felt like that until I actually just experienced it myself. I was like, I get it because you're putting so much into it. I get it because you are getting people that are telling you you're doing well all the time. And then
nothing happens.
It's the same. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same. And so
you're hoping someone just like reaches down and like grabs you by your hand, and you're like, "Come with me," and you just somehow magically become rich.
And it's not.
And that's what it feels like. It feels like it has to happen that way, and it's just not coming. But
sure,
you know what? When you drown your sorrows in golf all weekend too, watching the WGC, which is an absolute treat.
What a treat it is, dude.
Why don't you go ahead and break down for the ladies and the gentlemen on here how bad I did and how great
I was gonna say just okay. If you bet with us, Lord have mercy on your bank account. My God, you saw no returns there.
Real rough from your boy. I think I won one match. 3, 6, 9. I think I went 1-8.
Dude, it was brutal. Not even like draws.
Not even draws.
We're not gonna touch on our bets all too much, but we again grabbed one of the players from the top, middle, and bottom third of like the player rankings. And you had Will, you had Christian Bezadenhout, and you also had Sahith Theegala. And like, dude, it was tough. None of them finished like higher than like third in their pool. So we didn't score that very well. We just broke it up into 16ths. So if you're fourth and you're minus 16 off 64 would be 48, and you kind of do the math from there. I snagged Brian Harmon. Thank goodness he actually got second in his pool. Kevin Kisner got, I believe, third. And then I really thought Jordan Spieth was going to make it out of the pool play,
which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of his matches there.
First match, he looked unstoppable.
Yeah, I know. He's played there well in the past. That's kind of like
Kevin Kisner. He's wearing moon shoes to putt. So that's never good.
I saw that. What the heck was going on there?
That's never a good sign when a man's breaking out moon shoes to putt.
I'm pretty sure that's like a batting cage baseball.
Yeah, like learn how
and
to
like
keep your
cut in
balance.
half. Like, what are we doing
It's
here?
like a softball batting cage.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So you're currently in 36th place.
Overall, like for average picks, and you're sitting at 46th. So we got a little bit
10.
of a separation here.
That's
but
fine. I'm going to blow you out of the Masters, which we'll cover next week. We'll give you our picks. We'll hopefully get that episode out early Thursday, so maybe you could ride with us a bit better. I thought the WGC overall is like one of my favorite golf tournaments to watch again. I mean, the final day was Rory McIlroy versus Scottie Scheffler and Sam Burns versus
Cam
Young, which was super fun. Sam Burns played out of his mind. I mean, out of his mind. Cam Young stood no chance. I think that man made like 40 foot of putt on like 4 holes or something.
Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous. Dropping in putt after putt after putt. Ball striking just as pure as ever.
320 down the middle.
Commanding,
right into the green.
Commanding control. And his birdie rate on the weekend was 42%.
That's insane. Let that sink in. How many options?
He is birdieing like 40% of the holes that he plays.
That's crazy. That's absolutely
right? We were watching
crazy.
it. We were watching that together, and it was 41, 42, something like that.
And we were looking at, they did a great job breaking down how likely putts were made from a certain percentage of feet.
I love match play.
Right.
Because you also get to follow the entire groups.
Right.
They break down everything for you. It's how to exploit the other player, how to think through a situation.
Did he hit out of bounds?
And also, to build on your point about the putting percentages, and I'm going to let you take it away from there.
I don't remember the exact percentages, so you might have to help me out with it. But I think it was cool just to see the percentages, because I think this is, like, again, false baseball knowledge that people should be reining in 15-footers uphill, left to right breaks. You're making that like less than 40 or 30% of the time.
Yeah, it's like 30%.
Yeah, and you're not a professional golfer.
Tour pros.
Yeah, so like you're making that 15% of the time.
It's the same thing like baseball. If you are batting 300 for your career for 14 seasons, you are in the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
Getting a hit 30% of the time, you're in the Hall of Fame.
That's
so it's just
unreal.
like, it's one of those things. Again, it's setting the expectations and draining putts like that. It's just really fun because you have a guy that is 22 feet away from the hole that has a 26% chance of making the putt. And then you got the guy that's putting 12 feet away because it's match play. They're both putting for birdie. You got a guy that's 12 feet away that's got a 48 or like 47% chance of making it.
Right, so then you got to be more aggressive. But it was just super fun to watch. Shout out to WGC.
What a fun tournament. I really hope they bring it back.
Yeah, someone needs to pick it up and just make it better. Just don't make it in March. It's really that simple. Find another Pete Dye course and don't make it in March. And get the same guys there and advertise it a bit better. Like you don't know what's going on. People don't know this tournament. It's like a bracket style March Madness for golf. What's not to like about it? The betting's awesome. The odds are better. It's super fun. But hey, buddy, let's round off this podcast here with our 3 worst, the hot topic everyone wants to know about. We got a doozy for you guys. We're got restaurant chains. Maybe where I need to start working if this next job doesn't work out. So I'm going to go.
So
ahead.
we're gonna actually I'm gonna give a little bit more background here. So we're not talking like fast food.
No, not McDonald's, not Chipotle.
So we're going more like sit down chain restaurant where someone's taking your order and you have a hostess and that kind of situation. So
Totally.
just to kind of set the scene a little bit for our picks here and what realm of restaurant we're living in.
Let me go first here.
Okay, lay it on me here, big dog.
This is the absolute right list, and if there's anything wavering from this, you're incorrect. And I feel like the people rally behind me on these 3 worst. The more and more I listen to these, I feel like more and more people are like, Andrew is crazy. Have you gotten that vibe?
Well, I will have to say there are a couple of really bad picks by me. Going to the general public, and I understand, and I feel like I cover it pretty well, especially when I put root beer on like one of my like three worst.
Awful take.
It's just a bad. I understand that.
I love,
and I get it.
I love that for
and
you.
I am just ranking,
Right.
and for me.
You have to do.
I gotta have my list,
right. That's your beauty, and I love that for you.
I understand where I'm coming from. I'm not resonating with everyone, and I get it.
Right,
and I get it.
I just
root
love
beer
that
still
you're. I just love that it fuels my fire betting so bad that at least I can make a 3 worst list. I'm going to give an honorable mention, something that we don't normally do, but this shout out to this restaurant, not a shout out, not shout out to BJ's. I think the only thing good at BJ's is a Pizookie. And if you go to BJ's for your date night regularly, we got issues. Unless you're telling me I'm going for a Pizookie, then I understand.
That is a wild take. I thought there could have been way other restaurants. So many other restaurants out there.
You're right. There's way worse restaurants. Every time I go, why is it so busy?
Why is it so expensive?
Why is it so expensive? And why does the food always suck and eat salt? Like, it's always those options. And then the Pizookie comes, and you're like, you know what? It wasn't too bad. Because the Pizookie slaps. That's my honorable mention.
Wrong. I still think you're... I thought that was third slot.
No.
That's my bad. That's my bad. Okay.
Shout out, not shout out on the...
I missed it. Sorry.
Right. That's okay. Running on my 3 spots, Applebee's.
Okay.
Applebee's, no good.
Yeah.
I've eaten there once. It's nothing special. It's like a Chili's, but worse. I don't know what. It's like, who goes to Applebee's?
Okay.
And it looks like a preschooler decided to draw a restaurant. And now you have Applebee's.
It's just, again, I'm not fighting this at
Number
all.
3,
I
it
think
was
that's a
my
great
least
pick.
favorite pick. These next 2 ones I feel could be interchangeable, and I feel very passionate about this. So buckle in. Number 2 hurts me to put there because I want to put it at number 1. I have number 2, Olive Garden.
What an awful establishment.
The murder they do to Italian food is unholy.
I was thinking the same thing, but I was letting you go for it. I was going to say that.
Not okay. If your favorite Italian food is Olive Garden,
you haven't had Italian food.
We don't need to be friends. If you need to go to have unlimited breadsticks and salad at that trash establishment, you don't need to be friends with me because I don't understand. It's all bad. You never leave there thinking, I feel good. You never leave there like, that was a good choice.
Have you ever taken a bite of pasta and been like, this is halfway decent.
Right.
I'm not even saying like, oh, this is like, it's pretty good.
Right.
I am not even saying that, dude. It is just
trash.
Trash, dude.
It's all trash.
It's so bad. Like, you
trash.
can't even finish the pasta in the pasta sauce. Like, and they just give you like a spoon of like meat sauce on top.
And it's like,
what are we doing? I literally just get water noodles and loose ass meat sauce on top.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
If you can't finish your pasta sauce, your pasta and your pasta sauce, you're not an Italian restaurant.
I guess you can tell how passionate we are because we are just ripping on the red decibels over there. Right. We are messing up these people's ears. Sorry, you guys.
My old coworker loved Olive Garden, and she would drown her pasta in Alfredo sauce. This is all catering, so it's like even worse.
It's all separated.
And she would wash it all down with 2 Cokes. And I thought to myself, wowee, that must hurt. That's an impressive lady right there. Number 1, I don't understand. I've never even eaten there, and I never will. As a stance I will take is Red Lobster.
Okay.
If you can eat seafood in the middle of Ohio, that's a lobster, I don't trust you. And the best thing you have to offer is a biscuit. At least Olive Garden has salad and breadsticks.
Yeah, but their salad's pretty weak, though, dude.
Yeah, I know. But, like, cheddar cheese biscuits, like, I don't love biscuits that much to begin with, let alone, like, cheddar cheese is going to save them for me.
It's not anything to write home about.
Right.
It's
I went
cheddar
and
cheese.
I got a lobster and a cheddar cheese biscuit. That was great from Ohio, Cleveland. Like, no, thank you. I'm out. That's my top 3 and my honorable mention, buddy. What do you got for me?
This is going to be the most in agreeance that we can ever be in, I would say.
Right.
I feel like the people out there know where we stand, and we kind of went into a little bit more of a spiel. We cook. We love food.
Right.
If we are going somewhere to spend, just say like an individual entree night, you maybe get a drink, whatever, you go hang out, you're making it a thing. We are not really going to a lot of these places. So, like, this is probably going to be the most agreeance that we ever are in, but it's fun to pick our bones with a couple of these.
Right.
And should I give a little honorable mention here?
If you have one. I just so was against BJ's that I gave one. If you got one for me that really stands out, you wish you could put in the list, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. The one is not on my list that you had, which I could easily put on there because you were given some really good reasonings for it. But I'm going to go for maybe a little bit of like an unpopular situation because I feel like I'm really good at those, and it's always in the arsenal.
Honorable mention here?
And it's going to be an honorable mention because I feel like people go to it too often.
Okay.
So it's not really me. I don't see why people go to it.
Right.
It's like your BJ's pick. And I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory.
Awful thick.
You like the Cheesecake Factory? I don't understand why it's so popular.
The root beer, the Cheesecake Factory slaps. One.
You're hanging on to just root beer, my guy.
The bread
my
slaps.
guy.
The bread slaps.
Again.
They do BJ's food better. That's it.
I agree. I agree with you. But at least the BJ's has like the sports atmosphere, and it's maybe a little more fun. Cheesecake Factory is sit down, really proper meal.
Right.
I don't want to go there for like a really nice
and I
meal.
can get that for sure.
And so I wanted to put maybe like a BJ's or something
It's
like
a
that
good-
that situation.
Right.
I don't understand. And there's, again, not a lot of quarrel with cheesecake. I just don't understand why it's so popular.
Right.
Like, why is there a 45-minute wait for the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, the Spectrum, it's like a 2-hour wait. I don't get that either.
So that was my argument.
And
That
also
was more of something I wanted to highlight.
Right. Also, these restaurants, BJ's and Cheesecake Factory, had a heavy fall off like 5 or 6 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, those places were kind of banging.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
But like now it's like,
I think it has to do with it's maybe how global or like, domestic these like brands are. It's hard to stay true. It's hard to get the pricing right. Maybe it's hard to whatever it is. They fell off and they're really off the wagon a bit for me.
Give me
so
number 3
again,
here. I get it. It's a good pick, buddy.
It's an honorable mention. It's more, I would say, not really.
You're gonna get reamed for it, but I appreciate it.
It's not my 4th slot. It's more of something I wanted to throw out there.
Right. You just want to throw some extra hate out there.
That was it.
I get that.
So I'm not waiting for Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
End of story. Thirds, we have a very, very similar list, my guy. Number 3 is my Applebee's. Again, it's a worse Chili's. And again, I think Chili's really does have a little bit of a leg up on the situation because you go for a little bit of like a happy hour and like it's kind of like they got some decent things going on. It's not great, but like it's
better than Applebee's.
It's better than Applebee's. So that's why it's in my 3 slot right there. Nothing to argue with. Not really. I'm never going to it. Pass it.
I don't even know where there's one at anymore.
I don't
They might be out of business.
I don't think they exist. And in my 2 slot here, this is a place, and I'm gonna say recently because again it just haunts me because it was like 4 years ago.
Wow, is that long ago?
Been there like once, twice, and like have never ever looked back and never plan on going back. And that's Outback Steakhouse.
Oh my god, dude! What are these lists, buddy?
Outback Steakhouse is boo boo.
Trash now, but back in the day, the mac and cheese,
Okay, I didn't go to Outback Steakhouse back in the day, dude.
bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' Onion is great. I'm gonna say maybe that's the only thing. Have you gotten a steak there?
No, I never get a steak. I was a kid. I was rocking with my dad and my stepmom.
See, it's a nostalgic thing for you,
Right, back in that, and I would walk with my dad and my stepmom.
That ain't me. That ain't me.
We used to get king crab legs and steak.
Okay,
and
keep going.
Bloomin' onion.
Keep going. Have your moment here. so I can just poop all over it.
But yeah, okay. I mean,
No, nostalgia.
totally. It has nostalgia for me. I think for a lot of people, the mac and cheese still bangs there, though.
Okay,
And the
Again,
salad's not too bad either.
your boy lactose intolerant.
Right. And the Caesar's, I think the salad's like ranch. So you're not going to eat anything from Outback.
It's tough.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Also, I do love a really good steak. I am a firm believer in never really buying a steak if I don't really have to. Like,
It's really got to be an amazing steak.
I'm going and looking at anything else on the menu, and the steak is probably the last thing that I'm going for because I just think I can make a better steak. Mm-hmm. It's not a lot of hate, but it's also the most priced item. It is also the most expensive. So this is why I got my quarrel with Outback Steakhouse, is that I'm not going to go into Outback Steakhouse and drop $35 or $40 for me individually on a meal for
Totally.
an Outback Steakhouse, and that is my argument.
That makes
because
great.
there are plenty of other ones on here that are, I would say, potentially worse, but they don't cost and break the bank.
Right.
And that is why Outback Steakhouse, value-wise for me, is that they do not deliver on that end of like the protein, on the shrimp, on any of that kind of sorts for the price. And I understand the bloomin' onion because it hits.
The bloomin' onion's all time.
It's ridiculous. It's really good. I'm just talking, how can you, I just cannot get myself to do that at Outback Steakhouse. And they just really do the protein so poorly.
Right.
And that's what they are supposed to be claiming to be amazing at.
Throw a couple of shrimps on the bobby.
Dude. And it just doesn't resonate for me. So that's my two. And we all know where we're going here. It's the Olive Garden, number one.
Great number one. Olive Garden. Hey, shout out your boy.
Awful.
Don't be a restaurant anymore. Just stop being a restaurant because Italian people should revolt and fight you. So I think it's a great.
I know,
it's
dude.
buddy.
It's just bad. So just don't ever go there and say, "Oh, I really like the food," or "That's really good, authentic Italian food."
Oh,
Stop.
so bad.
Stop.
It's like saying Panda Express is authentic Chinese food.
Stop what you're doing.
It's like it's like the equivalent. Awesome podcast, buddy. Of course, our shout outs will be in the description of our episodes. Hopefully one day I get this video working. Maybe I'll do that after the wedding because I'll have a bit more time. Maybe dive into that a bit more. But for now, it's just going to be audio for a bit longer. You got anything for the people?
Bringing it back really quickly to the tournament I played in today. I'm rocking a little, if this clip is in there, or it's Photoshopped, video ends up getting out there. Shout out a little Travis Matthews, Fresh Start Polo. And wow, what an amazing time.
Thank you, Sherry, for that. For my boy. Can't wait to be out there next year.
Heyo.
Put me on with a pro football player. Be awesome. We're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.